Democrats were irritated at Sinema again on Friday. Even as Biden traipsed up to Capitol Hill to try to rescue his FDR dreams, Sinema flew back to Phoenix in the middle of nail-biting negotiations on the scope of Biden's social policy bill. Her spokesman said that she had a doctor's appointment for a foot injury, but the Times reported that she was also slated to play footsie with donors at her political action committee's dinner at a fancy resort. So she had a foot doctor appointment, but yeah, no, this is the whole thing here, is that like she's not there to negotiate anything. She's there to stop anything from happening. And like you can complain about it, what. I mean, they've been telling progressives for years, like, oh, you have to negotiate to get what you want, but they don't want anything here. Yeah. They don't want anything. They just want to stop any bill from being passed.
It's very easy when that's what you want. You don't have to worry about horse trading. You don't have to worry about killing your babies. You could just do whatever. You could just hang out. You can just vibe.
And for the progressive caucus or whatever, like, I mean, they have the cement shoes on of at least some policy goals that they'd like to get done. Like, I don't know, slightly lowering the price of prescription drugs, or I don't know, adding vision to Medicare or something like that. But like to do that, they have to negotiate away virtually everything to get even 1/100th of what is necessary. But yeah, like if you don't actually want to accomplish anything, and in fact, the reason for you being in politics is to stop any legislation from happening or bills from being passed, then yeah, like it's just they're holding every card here. And if you've got your own political action committee hosting foot dinners at fancy foot massage parlors, then you're sitting pretty. You're sitting real pretty if you're Senator Sinema. It says here the Times' Jonathan Wiseman got a hold of an invitation to another fundraiser for Sinema this past week with 5 business lobbying groups, many of which are fighting against the social policy bill. People who want to think they can understand her or get to her. Let me tell you, you can't, one Politico in her inner circle told me. It doesn't work that way with her. She doesn't think in a linear process like, okay, will this impact my reelection? She just beats her own drum. When she leaves in the middle of something and says, I've got stuff to do, it's because she has plans. Sometimes she's just more interested in training for an Ironman. More power to her, man. It's like watching a movie. Her life a movie.
Yeah, what movie is that? Just like the woman who works out a lot. She becomes a senator even though she doesn't want to go to work.
It's a movie called The Woman Everyone Hates.
Yeah. No, I mean that's the thing. Like the Politico is probably her comms director. And even they just they don't want to say what we're saying directly. The obvious thing here that Manchin and Sinema's role is just roadblocks to completely stop this from happening. So it's you have to sell her shitty personality as exciting. But every American has met a Kyrsten Sinema. I think Kyrsten Sinema probably does deserve to be in some type of body that's representative of the American people, because I would say this is 12% of American women over 30.
It says here, the Arizona senator's name is pronounced Sinema. And it is apt because she sweeps, and sometimes when the triathlete has a sports injury, limps through the Senate like a silent film star.
So she's not even good at triathlons. She's always fucking herself up.
I guess she's a silent film star because she doesn't talk much or negotiate or really do her job. It says here, the Greta Garbo of Congress, as one top Democrat called her. That one top Democrat, he just thought of the first actress he could think of, and it was Greta Garbo because he's 98 years old.
She's the Al Jolson of Congress.
Sinema rarely gives interviews and shuns the scrum of reporters at the Capitol, but she is not shy about drawing the spotlight, whether she is swathed in fur stoles or bedecked in pink, purple, and mint-colored wigs, or bedazzling in glittering stilettos. It's hard to believe that the Senate had a nutty sexist ban on sleeveless outfits on the floor, but the Mandarins quit worrying about it for members once their colleague blithely turned the hallowed marble halls into an iconoclastic catwalk.
Yeah, I think that ban should come back. Yeah, Kyrsten Sinema has traumatic brain injury from a car accident swag. Her swag level is we're letting her dress herself now. It's not great, but she needs it to reclaim her own agency after the accident.
Sinema's more conservative and monochromatic colleagues were agog at her stylings when she first ascended to the Senate. a moment when she was celebrated as the first openly bisexual senator. And they were appalled this past year when her fashion statements included presiding over the Senate in a pink sweater reading "Dangerous Creature."
Oh yeah, no, yeah. That's when there was a manic pixie dream girl moment with like Mitt Romney was on some committee with her and was like, "Oh, you're gonna break the internet." He's like he's the only person who's like excited to see her because he legitimately has not met a woman like that.
Oh God, no,
in the Mormon world, that woman, yeah, that's like practically a witch.
Mitt Romney is putting together the perfect mixtape for Sinema right now.
She like touched his forearm and he like grinded his cock against like a wood banister for 3 hours.
In a pink sweater reading "Dangerous Creature." And when she put a picture on Instagram following her defiant thumbs down on a $15 minimum wage, sporting a hot pink newsboy cap, matching oversized glasses, and a ring that expressed the sentiment "kiss off," but in a more vulgar way. Remember that this is a town so straight-laced, it was a sartorial scandal when President Barack Obama donned a tan suit. I mean, it's like I feel like people, I sort of forgotten about the thumbs down moment, but like, man, like it. If she is fucking mad about people hassling her in a bathroom when she went on like C-SPAN and was just like, fuck off to anyone who wants $15 an hour, it's just like, bring a bucket to the floor of the Senate and pee in that if you don't want people yelling at you, because that's the one place on the earth where most of the people actually are like you and are not mad at you. And like that's probably why she can get away with her kooky fashion choices and no one cares, because she is like the perfect American senator. She fits the role of what that institution is and what it represents better than most people.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point where we can dispense with any horseshit about representing anybody but yourself.
Yeah. Her life a movie, and we're all just extras in it. It says here, Sinema enjoys poking the bear, especially the more righteous wing of her party, the wing of her party that would like a $15 an hour minimum wage, or for insulin to not cost $700 a vial.
Prevent every bridge in the country from collapsing.
He says here, Sinema, especially the more righteous wing of her party, but her allies cry sexism in the way she is treated by Democrats compared with
Who are her allies?
I don't know, just the Republican Party.
Alec.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, I think our real allies is, as we said before, it's like senators like Chris Coons and Mark Warner and guys like that who want to play the face and not the heel, so that they like depend on her to like block, something like, hey, can we lower the price of prescription drugs by 25 cents? And they're no.
Yeah, can we cover glasses in 7 years on Medicare? For Americans who are just about to die, can we pay for them to go to lens crafters like 7 years from now? No.
He goes, I don't think that in her mind, when she dyes the front of her hair purple or whatever she does, she's trying to get press attention, one told me. Frankly, it's just an expression of who she is. And this is what he said, man. It's like, yeah, being in the Senate is just an expression of Kristen. It's just Kyrsten being Kyrsten.
She's feeling herself.
Yeah. So, I mean, when she dyes her hair a funky color, that's just she got up and she's like, just another manic Monday. When progressives may disdain Joe, I've never been a liberal mansion, they understand that he has a record as a conservative Democrat. Sinema is a puzzle to them. What caused the former social worker and Green Party champion who grew up in a gas station, a left-winger who supported Ralph Nader for president, to shift from progressive stances to more conservative ones? Is she unmoored in her politics simply by being opportunistic? What is the principle that is leading her to obstruct the party of her own president who really needs a win right now? She doesn't do interviews. She doesn't answer questions. She speaks in vagaries. She doesn't explain the core reason she's opposed. One member of the progressive crew on the Hill told me, it's hard to look at her actions and not conclude that the donations are part of the story. If she's here to fight for corporate power and lower taxes for the wealthy and get more money from pharma executives, be on the level and say it. Well, I mean, I think she basically is saying it, but this goes back to the thing: is this really about she thinks it's the right thing to do? Is this really about donations and re-elections and all that shit like that, or does she just like being she's just Sinema being Sinema? She likes getting attention. She likes being kooky, and this is a way to be the kooky girl in the romantic comedy. that like is klutzy, and then she takes off her glasses, and you're like, oh wow, she's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and then like this straight laced guy in town, maybe a guy who worked in private equity, maybe a guy who's like never done anything but put his penis in his wife's vagina and sit there for 9 hours. Maybe a guy like that. She's like goes out on the town with him, and he gets a vodka and milk for the first time in his life. And then he's like, "I'm leaving you, Anne, you bitch. I found an epic woman." And he like does like Mormon finger paints.
Mormon finger paints?
Yeah,
is that a sex thing?
No, this isn't like soaking. This is like, I don't know. You'd like paint like classic Mormon themes, like closing a real estate deal or like getting your own planet. You do a finger paint of like you liberating Auschwitz, but you're baptizing everyone. You got there too late, but it's like, don't worry, you're gonna be able to be a servant on my planet. Well, you're gonna be able to work at the CVS on the planet that I'm a god of when I die.
Well, I mean,
and before that, you got to hang out. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I think we found out what she's really after here, which is just like people say, oh, donations, re-election, the gratitude of her constituents, doing something for the country, public service. No, that's small ball. She's thinking long term, get my own planet.
Yep, and everyone who dies of a preventable illness will be her slave in the afterlife.
It is even better than getting your rocks off with a boy or girl.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, she is perfect for this role because, yeah, I mean, she's sort of like the Bad Girls Club senator. She likes negative attention.